country of America, perhaps the greatest country in the world. Let's let that sink in just for a second. Okay, today we are a wealthy country, and we have the largest military, navy, air force in the world. We have the second best military defense in the world. America has a GDP per capita of $53,041.98 of US dollars. So that means on average, each American makes about $53,000 a year. America is the ninth richest country in the world, following countries who don't have very many people, and it's mainly like vacationists who are doctors, lawyers, people who make the real big money. So their GDP, of course, is going to be higher than ours. But most people do not remember the days of old where we were in a crisis, a depression really. The Great Depression started on October 29th, 1929. The Great Depression was a really dark time in American history. According to www.goldeagle.com article Black Tuesday, which was, they called it Black Tuesday because that's when the Great Depression started. On October 29th, 1929, Wall Street experienced a 13% decline in the Dow Jones. What is the Dow Jones, you say? The Dow Jones is an industrial average, also known, or in parentheses, DGIA for short. It's a price-weighted average of 30 significant stocks traded in the New York Stock Exchange. And there was one more too, I just didn't put it down. To understand the struggle of what happened during the Depression, we must first understand where the money went and what happened to it. What happened during the Depression? Wall Street wiped out millions of investors, so therefore millions of investors just left, and it kind of made it to where they could not put in money, and so it messed up other people. People who invest in stocks, they could not get their money back. Because of the Great Depression, they had to send it towards the government and make stuff happen. People who deposited money into the bank could not get their money back. They had such a struggle with that. People had to sell their property off, sell their houses, sell their cars, everything. Banks would repo anything they had to sell it so they could get their money. It also left 13 to 15 million American citizens unemployed. You wouldn't know this, but there were some positives and negatives of the situation. I could really only find two positives, but there were still positives. There was some major scientific discovery that was actually made during this time. I didn't go deep into it, but there was scientific discovery. And there were actually songs written about the Depression at the time, which actually made it big in the 40s for some reason. Now, disadvantages. There was dust bowls in what you would call the wheat center, which right in the America straight down the middle is the wheat bowl. It's where a ton of states grew a surplus of wheat. So, because of it, locusts would go down and eat actually all the crops, which was what caused the wind to be able to wipe up all the dust to create what they called the Dust Bowl. Money loss. There's just money loss all across the country. Starvation. There was actually millions and millions of citizens who would stand outside of soup kitchens and other restaurants to actually get food. In conclusion, even though there were a ton of negatives from the Great Depression, there were a few positives, and it only lasted a decade. I mean, it could have lasted 20, 30 years. No, it lasted 10 years. We understand a decline on Wall Street and how it can throw off the entire country. Yes, the Depression was terrible. In the course of this, people have learned what to do in case of a decline and will be better prepared for the next one. But in the meantime, America will be making money as usual, and hopefully it won't take a world war to pull us out of the Depression.